Now, we've all come to know that this bridge, historic yet current, is especially symbolic of John Seigenthaler's remarkable work and life. And I'd like to welcome Mayor Karl Dean to the podium now to talk more about why. Mayor Dean, thanks for making it possible for our city to honor a great man in a really important way.
Well, thank you, Demetria, and this is a great day in the history of our city. You know, I wake up every morning and I get a card every day that just tells me what I need to do. And the card today was interesting because I woke up after dealing with storms last night and thinking more bad weather was coming. I looked at my schedule, and at 4 p.m. it says, rename Shelby Street Bridge for John Seigenthaler. And I thought, that's a pretty darn good day. And this is a good day. This is a good day I couldn't be more proud of or more happy standing here to dedicate this bridge in honor of John Seigenthaler. And just by the folks who are here, from our Metro Council, we have Berkeley Allen, Walter Hunt, Jason Holloman, Ronnie Stein, Mayor Bill Purcell. Bill, thank you for being here with us. Former Speaker Jimmy Nathy is here, State Senator Thelma Harper, Charlie Cardwell, DA Tory Johnson, Brenda Wynn, Judges Randall Wyatt, Tom Brothers, Carol McCoy, and Sophie Crawford. All thank you. Governor Haslam and Governor Bredesen, I'm so glad that you were able to be here to join us this afternoon. I also want to recognize Dolores, and it's always great to see Dolores, truly a better half. And I want to recognize my wife, Ann Davis, who is an enormous John Seigenthaler fan. And because I have heard so much about him, I want to acknowledge Jack Seigenthaler. You know, Jack, I don't know, this might come as a surprise to you, but your grandfather talks about you. And I give Jack credit for having really the best line in all this. When John and I told John that we wanted to do this, to name a bridge after him, and I told him, you know, it's going to go through council and all that. John called Jack and told him that, you know, this is all dependent upon council approval. And Jack said, well, if it doesn't work out, we'll just change our name to Shelby. So that's good. So I'm aware that you changed your schedule to be here today, Jack, and we're thankful. Let me pause now to thank and recognize Andrea Connie, and You Have the Power. Andrea, you have worked steadily for 21 years, showing victims they have power, giving them hope, and letting them know that they are not alone and that someone is always out there working on their behalf. You Have the Power is a staple in our community, one of those ingredients that help us make us the city that we are. Thank you for your hard work, and I am just thankful to partner with you on this great day. I see members of the council here, as I've mentioned, and these council members, Jack, voted unanimously to rename this bridge for John Seigenthaler. And I want to thank Council Member Ronnie Stein for his leadership as the bill's sponsor. Last week I had the chance to spend some time with John and his friend Marion Wright Edelman. Marion Edelman founded the Children's Defense Fund some 41 years ago. I listened as old friends talked about the freedom rides, the sit-ins, people going to jail for what they believe in, and even dying for the cause of civil rights. For them, it was a conversation. For me, it was a history lesson. And to put it in perspective, that's why this day is so important. During the conversation with Ms. Edelman, John wasn't talking about something he read about or that he heard about. He talked about events he was part of, events he witnessed firsthand. And for the most part, those were events in our nation's history that tore down barriers, events that paved the way for inclusion for everybody. When you really study John Seigenthaler's life, you will learn about a man who has spent his years working to make life better for other people. And that brings us to this dedication today. 60 years ago, a man was so distraught that he climbed on this very bridge with every intent to jump off and kill himself. John Seigenthaler's bosses at the Tennessean sent him to cover a jumper. But John became the story when he reached out and grabbed the man before he jumped. In the early 60s, John left the newspaper to work for Attorney General Robert Kennedy, where he spent his days championing equal rights and protecting those who fought for them. That role got him hit in the head with a lead pipe, and knocked unconscious in Montgomery, Alabama. When John wasn't working against injustices through his position with the Justice Department, he was exposing them in his role as a Tennessean reporter, editor, and then publisher. When John left the Tennessean, he founded the First Amendment Center, using that organization as a platform to remind all of us that the U.S. government guarantees every citizen certain rights and to teach us how to appreciate those rights. Something else happened when John left the paper. Mayors and other government officials started calling on him to help them pull off projects or solve complicated issues. Just last year, he co-chaired our 9-month celebration of Metro government's 50th anniversary. And John just didn't co-chair in name only. He chaired every meeting, and there were lots of meetings, attended every event, and put together a 50th birthday party that beats any I've attended. Back in the 1990s, when our city's murder rate was rising, Mayor Bredesen asked John to chair the Crime Commission. He did. The group went to work and recommended several initiatives, some of which remain in place today, all of which certainly helped lead to a much safer city that we all enjoy today. Also in the 90s, state officials established the Commission on the Future of the Tennessee Judiciary, and yes, they asked John to chair that. Everything I've just mentioned says a lot about our honoree. But that's not the stuff that captures the essence of John Seigenthaler. What defines the spirit of John Seigenthaler, his very core, is that he jumps to say yes. When Miss Jones, a teacher at a middle school in town, asks if John Seigenthaler will come and talk to her class, he says yes. He eagerly says yes when the 9th grader that he has never met before wants an appointment to talk to him about a potential career in journalism. He makes time for everybody, no matter how large or how small the task. If it's going to help someone or help our community in any way, John is there giving it everything he has, and he has a lot to give. That is the soul of John Seigenthaler. Our city and the world we live in is a better place because of him. And now I'd like to invite Andrea, Governor Haslam, Councilman Stein, and John to join me for the unveiling of the marker. Andrea, you want to go over here? All right. 1, 2, 3.